Happy New Year! Welcome, 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 welcome to 31 Days of Devotion. My name is Adreanna Limbach, and I am the host, curator, and one of the contributing teachers to 31 Days of Devotion. Welcome. It's great to be here with you. And welcome to 2019. You guys, clink. Welcome. It's so great to be here with you on the other side of 2018. We made it. We made it to a brand new, fresh, spanking new, out of the box, brand new year. I'm so happy to be here with you. May it be the best one yet, full of sanity and kindness and joy. If this is your very first time here with us for 31 Days of Devotion, I really just want to roll out the red carpet for you. Welcome. It is an absolute joy to be here for our very first day of practice. And if this is your second year of practicing with us, maybe our third year practicing together, maybe you've been here from the very beginning and it's your fourth year of doing 31 Days of Devotion, I gotta say, you guys have my heart. Thank you for being back. Really, truly, this series has been so much more meaningful than I could have ever anticipated when I first created it, and has put me in contact with so many beautiful people. So really, welcome back. It's a joy to be celebrating the new year with you once again. 31 Days of Devotion. Before we move into practice today, I just wanted to take a little bit of time to introduce our series. As you have probably seen, we will be joined by 7 really amazing contributing meditation teachers this year. Many favorites from previous years who will be back. Teachers from New York City, from Philadelphia, from Los Angeles, and each of our teachers really kind of bring their own flavor and their own style. So it gives us an opportunity to practice with a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different personalities and styles to give us a well-rounded practice season for 31 Days of Devotion. So I just want to say, if you have never meditated before, trust me, you are in really good hands. You're in the right place. All of our sessions together will be guided, and we'll be following particular themes. So for this week, we're kicking off 2019 and kicking off 31 Days of Devotion, with the topic of intention, and really taking a look at what it is we want to move towards or create or cultivate or give space to over the next year. So when it comes to devotion, one of the definitions of devotion that really has resonated with me from the beginning is this sense of love, this sense of loyalty, this sense of enthusiasm that pulls us towards something. I know that in our very busy world, there are a million things that we need to do and have to do and should do and want to do, and sometimes it can feel like we're working really hard and applying a lot of effort and kind of pushing ourselves towards these things that we need to do or have to do or want to do. And so the tone of devotion, and particularly this series, really kind of takes a slightly more softer, reverent tone in looking at what it is that we honestly feel pulled towards, not pushed to do, but really honestly pulled towards from a place of love and enthusiasm. So this week, particularly with intentions, we'll be spending a lot of time looking at that for ourselves. I don't have the answers for you, but I bet that you do. What it is that you feel really pulled towards. And we'll be exploring this idea of devotion and intention in many different ways on the cushion. So if you have a pen and paper, I encourage you to bring that close just to capture any of your own insights after practice. And without further ado, moving into our first practice session together, I want to make sure, in this spirit of kindness, of devotion, of love, enthusiasm, that we are also included in the conversation of kindness and love. So really just making sure before we move into meditation practice that you have a comfortable seat. And it could be that you're on a sort of conventional meditation cushion, something that's really nice and plump like this. Or if you're seated on a couch, on a chair, that's perfect. Really, first and foremost, making sure that your body feels supported, sustainable, stable. So ensuring that our body has some buy-in here. We're not struggling against ourselves physically. Sort of antithetical to the practice. And once we have found our seat, it's taking a moment here again just to give ourselves a physical once-over. So if you're seated on a chair or couch, just letting your feet rest flat on the ground. If you're seated on a meditation cushion or floor, you can cross your legs loosely in front of you, or maybe shift onto the shins, making sure that there's no physical pressure in your kneecaps, but rather the body weight rests back on the shins, the sit bones. And then again, once we found this really sturdy, sustainable seat, it's taking a moment here in our first practice to locate our gaze. So working with eyes open or eyes closed, you get to decide, whatever feels honest. And if you're practicing with eyes open, it's letting the gaze fall down the bridge of the nose, 3 to 5 feet in front of you, hazy, unfocused, almost as though you're looking through the floor, not directly at it. And if you're practicing with eyes closed, seeing if you can maintain this sense of being alert and awake. So a slightly more uplifted quality than nap time, as tempting as that might be. And then once we found our seat, found our gaze, it's perhaps giving ourselves a few deep inhales and deep exhales. Really just arriving here fully, landing in our bodies. And we'll take a moment right here, right off the top, just to touch in on what it is that brought you here. It doesn't have to be profound as long as it's honest. It's really connecting to why you said yes to this program, to practice. Maybe that initial motivation, reason, purpose. Whatever that is for you, it's allowing it to fade into the backdrop, recognizing that it will inform our practice to come. No need to focus on it directly. And then we'll take just a few moments here to open up our practice by opening up our senses. So really just arriving here fully. First and foremost, bringing our attention over to the sensation of sound. Taking in the sound of the space that you're in. Perhaps any noises that are present, or just the tonal quality of the room. If you're in a perfectly silent space, maybe noticing what that's like, just to listen through silence. Staying open to sound, turning our attention to touch. So taking a few moments here to really just feel our bodies here in space. The weight of the body against the chair, the floor. Those light points of pressure where the body makes contact. Maybe even allowing the body to soften into these contact points. Really heavy, held up, supported. Taking in the texture of our clothing against our skin. Feeling the temperature of the air. So really very little effort needed here. We're just beginning to slow things down. Open up to what already is. Just our bodies here in space. Dropping our attention into our feet. Feeling our feet here. Maybe wiggling a toe or two. Feeling the space between our toes. Texture of our socks, pressure of our shoes. Feeling where our feet make contact. Tracing the attention upwards along the shin bones, kneecaps, grazing the attention along the thighs, into the hips, belly, chest. Taking a moment here, perhaps just to place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, if that feels honest. Just feeling the rise and the fall of the belly with the breath against the skin of the palms. Continuing to make contact with the body breathing. So again, very little effort needed here. Just feeling the way the breath naturally moves in the body by its own volition. And continuing to allow the attention to ride the cycle of breath as it moves through the body. We'll take just a few minutes here to give our minds a chance to stabilize and our bodies a chance to settle by working with the exceedingly simple, not always easy instruction that as our mind begins to wander, which it naturally will, just noticing when we've left our breathing, acknowledging what captures your attention, and then gently, firmly coming back to the breath in the body. So again, if you find that your mind is drifting, perhaps lost in thought somewhere, halfway asleep, no big deal. That's what the mind does. Again, just acknowledging where you've landed, a light touch of recognition, and feeling the body breathe. It's this continual return back to the breath. If you're finding it difficult to feel or follow the breath today, perhaps again placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Feeling the breath in the body this way. There's really no wrong way of doing it. We're just feeling the body breathe. And then at this point in practice, just letting the eyes gently shut if they haven't already. Taking a few moments just to move into contemplation, the contemplation of devotion for our new year. It's leading in with the question, what do I feel devoted to this year? What do I feel pulled towards from a place of love and enthusiasm? So again, I want to encourage you that there's no wrong answers here. It's beginning to receive this answer to yourself from yourself, whatever feels honest and sincere in response to that inquiry. What is it that I feel drawn to, pulled towards, from a place of love and enthusiasm? What do I feel devoted to this year? And again, if we find that our mind is drifting, lost out at sea somewhere, again, no big deal. Just gently ushering the attention back to this inquiry, this contemplation. What do I feel pulled towards from a place of love and enthusiasm? What do I feel devoted to this year? Noticing what honestly arises in response. And then whatever information we may have collected here. Again, this information to ourselves from ourselves. Just allowing that to fade into the backdrop a bit. And bringing our attention back to the breath in the body. And we'll take just a few moments here, again, just to feel the body breathe. Very little effort needed. And then in our final few moments of practice, perhaps just reconnecting to what it is that brought you here, brought you to this series, brought you to meditation today. Why yes? Why show up? Whatever that is for you. Again, perhaps closing by placing one hand on the heart and just giving ourselves a little bit of thanks, maybe a little bit of credit for choosing to kick off our new year by giving ourselves the opportunity to slow things down a bit, consider intention, devotion, and what we feel drawn to. Really taking care of ourselves in this way. And then, as you're ready, just letting formal practice drop, allowing the eyes to gently open. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for practice today, for our very first practice of many this month. I hope that it was useful. And again, the beauty here is that there's absolutely no wrong answer. There's no wrong way of doing it. That the entirety of this practice and this series is an exploration to yourself from yourself. So thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy. Happy New Year. And we'll see you back on the cushion tomorrow for another round of practice.